On one of our morning dives, I saw what appeared to be, based on the growth around its shell, a fairly old queen conch grazing in the shallows. As it fed, I saw the foot slowly come down and decided to wait for it to take a step forward. The foot looked pretty sizable in this clip, so I wondered just how big they get. My question was answered in this clip of a different queen conch at the same dive site. I was taking a close-up of the eyes, and the foot was not visible, so I wasn't ready for a step. But when it happened, I did manage to get most of the foot at the top of the screen. They are all muscle, and it's impressive how far the foot can lift the shell, which may explain why conch fritters can be so chewy. Although we had fewer dives in June, it was still a great month for first-time captures. I didn't recognize this animal on one of my night dives, so I did a little investigating. It turns out this was a collared sand anemone. Shout out to Ellen Muller for the ID assist. Later on in the month, while hunting for frogfish, I saw two small beady orange eyes staring back. It didn't move much, except for right here, when it raised its claws, which was enough for me to see it was a common squat lobster. It was well hidden this time, but I'll check this spot again to see if I can get more of the body. We also caught a seaweed blenny for the first time. This one was over an inch long and was hiding in a small crevice on a cement mooring in the shallows. So the footage is darker than I would have liked, but hey, it still counts. I am not exactly sure what was going on with this music volute. Most of the body and foot appeared to be just laying outside its shell. We didn't see any sign of trauma or an attack of some kind. It was just sort of out and exposed. While we don't know the circumstances, the shell coloring was magnificent. We had a similar experience with this peanut worm, which was also just sort of out and not doing much of anything. Or so we thought. When we downloaded the footage and looked more closely, we saw it was actually spawning. Notice the cloudy stream of gametes drifting with the current. The last time we saw a peanut worm this size was in March 2025, and it was spawning as well. This time around, we noticed an interesting anomaly in the middle of the body. Based on a few online references, this hole may be where the worm excretes undigested waste material. So, we learned that. We have several entries in the cleaning department. Our friend John pointed out this Goldentail Moray eel in a small coral head, and when I pulled in to take a look, I noticed there was a scarlet-striped cleaner shrimp zipping around taking care of parasites and other things. It might just be me, but I do think we're seeing more scarlet-striped cleaner shrimp these days. I thought this Yellowline arrow crab was interesting because it was scraping its legs and then eating whatever it found. We're not sure if this is normal behavior or just opportunistic feeding, but it did it a few times. This Ocellate swimming crab may have been doing some general house cleaning or clearing a path for a quick escape. But what I loved about this clip was the careful way it moved the leaf. Caribbean reef squid have been popping up from time to time, which is nice to see. This activity may or may not be frisky behavior, but there were certainly some very dramatic color changes. What was surprising was that these guys were in the shallows at a fairly popular spot for water activity. They certainly didn't appear to be that bothered by the humans splashing around at the surface. I also came across a few curious squid on a night dive. Sticking with cephalopod sightings for a second, I barely noticed this juvenile octopus peeking out of a hole in the shallows. After pushing a juvenile bearded fireworm out of the way, it made its way to another hole. The last nighttime critters for this video are a small collection of sea spiders I saw crawling around some star coral. They are so fragile and are easy to miss from a distance because they look like bits of algae until they move. These were all about 1.5 inches in size. Our heartwarming clip comes courtesy of Leslie, who found this adorable balloonfish resting perfectly in between 5 branches of a large tube sponge. She took a couple of shots and gave it to me. I shot it as I passed with the current and then let it continue relaxing, nestled with a perfect view over the reef. Finally, we don't want to be too preachy and recognize that taking images this way may be acceptable in other locations. But Bonaire is a marine park. Stenapa rules state, refrain from touching, moving, or grasping marine life for yourself or even for picture purposes. Lying prone on the sea floor anywhere in Bonaire is not allowed. Please be aware of, respect, and follow local rules wherever you dive. On a happier thought, we just crossed 4,500 subscribers and are eyeing the 5,000 milestone. Thank you so much if you're a subscriber, and if you're not, please consider doing so. We welcome you to our community with open arms. Thanks! Smiley face.